Hey Amazon, so this is the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 and this is the Manscaped beard trimmer, and today we're actually going to go ahead and compare the differences between these two trimmers. Now first off, both of these trimmers come included with a USB-A to USB-C charging cable, and they both come included with a USB-A wall adapter. Now with the Lawnmower 4.0, obviously you get your trimmer, but you also get two combs that each have two adjustable positions, and you also get a wireless charging base. Whereas with the beard trimmer, you get one comb, but you also get this pretty traveling case, which honestly was not expected when I first unboxed this trimmer. So you can store your charging peripherals here and the trimmer itself, so it's going to be well protected if you are going to be traveling with this trimmer. Okay, but now we're actually going to talk about the trimmers themselves. Now first off, you're going to notice that the beard trimmer is way larger than the Lawnmower 4.0, but they both share the same design language. Now both of these trimmers do have silicone surfaces here, which is going to make it easier for you to grab a grip, and both of these trimmers do have the same angular design to them. Now when it comes to actually charging these trimmers are actually fairly different. Now with the Lawnmower 4.0, this trimmer can only be charged wirelessly through its charging base, so you just place it in here, and you also plug in the USB-C cable back here. But more importantly, when you place this trimmer into the charging base, it is going to charge up. Whereas with the beard trimmer does not have a wireless charging. The beard trimmer has a USB-C port that you have to manually plug in, and that's how this trimmer is going to charge up. And when it comes to the battery life of these two trimmers, now surprisingly, even though the beard trimmer is larger, this beard trimmer has a 60-minute battery life, whereas with the Lawnmower 4.0, this trimmer has a 90-minute battery life. So, battery life is going to be a little longer on this trimmer here, but it does have a smaller motor to power, so that's probably why we have the battery life difference here. Okay, but now we're actually going to talk about cutting hair with these two trimmers. Now, with the Lawnmower 4.0, like I mentioned earlier, you get two included combs, and both of these combs have two positions on them. So this is position 1 and this is position 2 with the Lawnmower 4.0, and this here is the second comb. So if you want a longer cut, you got one position here, and then if you were to extend this, this is the longer position here. And if you want, you can always just use this razor without a guard, so you're going to get the closest cut this way. But then there's the beard trimmer. Now with the beard trimmer, you only get one comb, but with the beard trimmer, you actually have a dial down here. Now right now it's set to 0.5, the lowest setting. So that's the lowest setting here. But if you want to extend it, all you got to do is you just turn this dial here, and as you can see, the comb itself is elevating, and you have up to 10. And if you want to bring it back down, all you got to do is just dial it the other way, and the comb is going to come back down. You see that? And if you want to get the closest shave with the beard trimmer, all you got to do is just remove the comb, and this here is going to give you the closest shave possible. But also, you gotta keep in mind that with the beard trimmer, the cutting surface here is a little larger than on the Lawnmower 4.0. So if you are looking for a trimmer to trim the hairs on, let's say, your legs, your chest, or your back, and if you want to do it quickly or just faster, you might want to go with the beard trimmer just because there's a larger surface area here. Whereas with the Lawnmower 4.0, even though this trimmer is great for cutting the hairs on your legs, your chest, your back, since it is a little smaller, it can take a little longer than with the beard trimmer. So that's definitely something to consider if you are trying to choose between either of these two trimmers. With the beard trimmer, you do have a larger surface area, so even though it does have a slightly shorter battery life than the Lawnmower 4.0, since you'll be able to cut more hairs faster, you'll be able to finish your grooming faster than with the Lawnmower 4.0, or at least that's what I've noticed with my experience with the beard trimmer. But also, something that I do have to point out about these two trimmers is that with the Lawnmower 4.0, you have a built-in light, so that is going to help you see what you're actually cutting, whereas with the beard trimmer, there is no built-in light here. So that's definitely something that you might want to take into consideration if you're trying to choose between these two trimmers. For me personally, it's not a big deal because, you know, when I cut my hair, I do so with the light on. So for me, it's not a big deal that the beard trimmer doesn't have a light. But if it matters to you, the Lawnmower 4.0 does in fact have a built-in light. So yeah, that was the comparison between the Lawnmower 4.0 and the beard trimmer. With the beard trimmer, this trimmer is significantly larger than the Lawnmower 4.0, but more importantly, you have a larger cutting surface area with the beard trimmer. So if you are looking to cut the hairs on your legs, chest, or back, you're going to be able to do so faster than with the Lawnmower 4.0. And also the comb here is much more adjustable than with the two combs that come included with the Lawnmower 4.0, because with the Lawnmower 4.0 you basically have 5 lengths to choose from, whereas with the beard trimmer you technically have 20 different lengths to choose from. The only thing to keep in mind here is that with the beard trimmer you have a 60-minute battery life, whereas with the Lawnmower 4.0 you have a 90-minute battery life, and with this trimmer it charges wirelessly, whereas with the beard trimmer you do have a USB-C port that you have to plug in.